know. Go ahead, Jackie.
Thanks, Jen. Did the White House share the Thursday statement with Senator Manchin before it was put out, and what was his reaction to that?
I'm not going to detail private discussions or private sharing of statements in advance.
And then on his call out to Democrats for badgering him, saying that they believe that he could be moved in his position somehow. Is there any regret within the White House or within discussions with Democratic leadership just about how this negotiation went, given that statement from him that he feels that he's been badgered and beaten?
Well, that certainly is not our objective, never has been our objective, but our objective is getting this legislation passed and reminding the American people and all people who could vote for it what the stakes are. So no, we don't have regrets about aggressively communicating about it and making sure people understand that if we don't pass this legislation, costs for the American people will go up and economic growth projections will not go in the right direction.
Shows, though, that Democrats just don't have a large enough majority to pull off this kind of transformational legislation without these kinds of significant bumps in the road. But the president, ran as a moderate. Joe Biden is asking for any major policy changes, or excuse me, Manchin's asking for major policy changes to be bipartisan. So why are Biden and Manchin seemingly so far apart on this, where Manchin's wanting to bring Republicans in and the president has, tried to work this out just within the Democrats?
The president would welcome Republicans joining this effort to lower the cost of child care, to make sure that families aren't paying thousands of dollars for insulin, to make sure people can afford care for their parents and loved ones. He would welcome that. I think it's not a secret that opposition is driven by the concern by many in the Republican Party that they don't want to raise taxes on corporations and highest income. That's not a secret, but certainly we'd welcome support or engagement from any Republicans in this effort to get this done.
And then on Omicron and the announcements coming tomorrow, one of the items that you guys have consistently said is on the table and is being evaluated is vaccine mandates for domestic air travel. Is that something that you guys have reached a decision on?
I don't have anything new on that. I think we've said in the past that masking is something we know is effective and works. I would expect tomorrow you'll hear more from the president on what we're going to do more about making vaccines and testing accessible and what the American people can expect over the next couple of months.
Real quick on this ruling from the Sixth Circuit on the vaccine or test mandate. Obviously, this has been, a bit of back and forth between the different circuits, and it's still caught up in the whole process. I understand that the White House has consistently said, look to this deadline. We're going to continue pushing toward it. But you're having some businesses like, Amtrak last week just said that they were going to have to cut service, and then a few days later said, just kidding, we're not going to. This obviously might change that calculus again. So what's the message?
Amtrak didn't say that it was related to a vaccine mandate. They said they gave other reasons for it. And also they had 94% or higher percentage of their employees vaccinated.
They did, but they also said on the Hill in the hearing that because they would need to hire qualified employees who met their vaccine requirements, that they anticipated having to cut service from, I think, January to March. And I know what you're referring to, where they listed off some other concerns. I think it was related to hiring that was paused during the
they talked about a range of challenges they were having, but also I would note that 94%, if not higher at this point, of Amtrak employees are vaccinated. We also know that 60% of businesses, if not higher at this point, have put in place vaccine requirements or testing requirements because they know it's effective for the economy and it creates a safe workplace. So we are certainly welcome the Sixth Circuit's decision. We feel that the vaccination or testing rules will ensure businesses enact measures that protect employees, create more certainty for the economy, and we don't feel that this is a time for organizations to be backing away from these requirements.
You don't feel like this is a sort of back and forth, like businesses are getting whiplash, the customers are getting whiplash from announcements like this?
I think what's clear is that if you have the vast majority of companies in this country putting in place restrictions and requirements, testing requirements, that it's an indication that this creates certainty in the workplace, ensures there's a healthy workplace, and that is outside of this OSHA requirement. Go ahead.
Jen, the president's own medical advisors have suggested that if people are going to gather with family this